Caitlin has had her fair share of knocks. There's no question about it. The referees don't take care of managing that line, then players are going to cross the line.
Caitlin Clark fans have been complaining about the egregious officiating.
The second Caitlin Clark's injury status became public, the WNBA felt the tremors. Ticket values plunged, fans turned away, and viewership took a nosedive.
This injury, it should be a wake-up call to the WNBA, the Players Association, the team owners, that just like that, all this fanfare, all this interest, all this newfound attention on the league can disappear overnight.
This wasn't just about an athlete missing time. It was about the engine of the league coming to a halt. Her groin injury didn't just pause her playing time, it stalled the WNBA's momentum.
She is special.
Who is this? This is the moment.
Caitlin Clark is the star player of the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark and the revolution in women's sports.
The most popular woman ever in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark.
Now loyal supporters are walking out. They're canceling trips, skipping games, and making one thing clear.
Indiana Fever announced that star Caitlin Clark will be out. We know what she brings to the table.
If Caitlin's not on the court, they're not watching. If you're fully behind Caitlin Clark, let the world know, because the league clearly hasn't gotten the message.
A rising tide lifts all boats. Jump on that boat and elevate.
Caitlin Clark's recent update wasn't just a routine health check. It sent shockwaves through her fan base and the league. I feel good, she said, but I'll be day-to-day from now on.
You have to protect your star. You have got to protect her at all costs.
At first glance, it may sound like optimism, but to anyone really paying attention, it was a subtle alarm bell.
Ticket prices continue their decline.
This isn't just a case of sitting out one or two games.
Caitlin Clark goes out with injury. First two injuries, though they were separate, they probably were like a causation correlation type of injury. And those were two separate injuries in her quad.
It's the latest chapter in a troubling pattern. An elite athlete fighting through consecutive injuries while trying to carry an entire league on her shoulders. She said it clearly. I don't know if I'll be 100% for the rest of the season. That wasn't an excuse. It was a rare, honest moment from someone who's clearly managing pain, not healing from it.
Caitlin Clark was once again sidelined with a groin injury.
The signs were already there. Heavy taping on her thigh and groin, visible discomfort during games, and insiders reporting she was already feeling it during the matchups with the Sun and Liberty.
She came into the league last year with no break whatsoever between the college game and the pro game.
Average ticket was selling for around $200 a piece. As soon as it was announced that Caitlin Clark was missing Thursday night's game against the LA Sparkles, ticket prices in Dallas started to plummet.
Many believe things got worse after she was sent back into a blowout game, something that never should have happened. Even legends of the sport are speaking up. Sue Bird, a WNBA icon, voiced concern over how Clark is expected to create almost every opportunity on her own.
The uncertainty alone caused ticket prices to decline by 40%.
There's no second option to take the load off, no real support to ease the pressure. Instead, she's logging massive minutes in a tightly packed schedule, with more games than ever before.
Caitlin Clark was once again sidelined with a groin injury.
And that's just the beginning. She's also facing relentless defense, physical targeting, and inconsistent officiating that's allowed far too much contact with little to no protection. Let's be real.
Ticket prices were circling the pooper. Tickets were selling for as low as $3.
Those sellouts that would have been if Caitlin Clark was in the lineup, those aren't going to be sellouts anymore.
From the day she entered the league, Caitlin Clark has been overworked and underdefended. The system isn't set up to support her recovery. It's set up to drain every ounce of what she brings to the table. The Commissioner's Cup, all-star appearances, endorsements, TV deals.
Some tickets I heard were being exchanged for Vietnamese dongs.
Instead of pacing her growth, the league has strapped itself to her popularity and pushed full throttle. But that approach is catching up. Clark isn't just dealing with soreness. She's visibly fatigued. Her teammates sense it. Her fans feel it. And the worst part? The league still hasn't responded. This is no longer just about one injury. It's about the risk of losing the very player who's been holding the entire WNBA in the spotlight.
Caitlin Clark was once again sidelined with a groin injury.
As soon as word spread that Caitlin Clark would be missing games, the reaction from fans was swift and unforgiving. There wasn't confusion or disappointment. There was outrage. Almost instantly, supporters began pulling back.
The uncertainty alone caused ticket prices to decline by 40%.
In Dallas, ticket prices took a nosedive, plummeting 40% overnight. In Chicago, where Clark was also ruled out, seats were going for as little as $3. Some fans gave them away for free. Others were trading them for leftover merch.
Some tickets I heard were being exchanged for Vietnamese dongs.
One frustrated reseller posted, "If she's not playing, I'm not going." Simple as that. But it wasn't limited to ticket sales. Entire weekend plans unraveled. Hotel bookings were canceled. Bars near arenas saw a drop-off in foot traffic.
The road show is officially over. When it comes to the home attendance, 17,274.
One manager in Indianapolis shared that the usual game day rush had completely disappeared. The Caitlin Clark effect wasn't just hype, it was real. And when she's not playing, the excitement disappears with her. No Clark means no attraction, no energy, just a league struggling once again to draw attention. And this isn't just casual fans.
A rising tide lifts all boats. You jump on that tide, you jump on that boat, and elevate and use them to elevate your play.
Walking away. On platforms like Twitter X and YouTube, tens of thousands echoed the same message. "I'll tune in when she's back." That's not a complaint. That's a clear statement of protest. A coordinated withdrawal from a league that many believe has mistreated its biggest star.
Let's take a look at these two games. CBS, Chicago Sky. NBA TV, Washington Mystics. Let's stay there. Caitlin Clark versus the Atlanta Dream. NBA TV, 591,000. Going head-to-head against the NBA playoffs.
One viral comment said it best. The WNBA wants to profit off Caitlin, but they don't actually protect Caitlin. And the fallout is already measurable. Just weeks ago, WNBA broadcasts were pulling in 2.7 million viewers with Clark on the court. Now they're struggling to hit 1.2 million when she's out. That's not a minor drop. That's a free fall.
This 2.7 number, I think is going to be hovering around the 1.25 number, 1.5 number, 50% drop off.
A 50% plunge that exposes the fragile foundation the league built, relying almost entirely on one player. And it could get worse. Insiders now believe that Clark's uncertain day-to-day status could threaten two of the league's biggest events, the Commissioner's Cup and the All-Star Game. If she sits out, viewership could collapse even further. Networks are getting nervous. Sponsors are going quiet. Why? Because Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's the financial engine of the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark, somebody who was responsible for 26.5% of all WNBA economic activity last season, including revenue from merchandise, ticket sales, and television.
One analyst estimated that she generates over 26.5% of all league revenue, ticket sales, merchandise, TV deals, you name it. Her presence shifts the economy. There's no comparison. In fact, financial projections suggest that if Clark's momentum continues into next season, her impact could surpass a staggering $1 billion. Yes, billion.
Brewers analysis suggests that if Clark simply maintains her current momentum through an expanded 2025 season, her impact on the WNBA's economy could reach $875 million. With modest growth and continued fan interest, Brewer believes that number could exceed $1 billion.
But despite being a once-in-a-generation asset, she's endured repeated injuries, heavy contact, and silence from the league. What the WNBA forgot is that Caitlin doesn't just bring fans, she builds trust. And when fans see her pushed to the limit and ignored when injured, they take it personally. They feel disrespected. And when fans feel disrespected, they don't just get mad, they walk away.
Brewers analysis suggests that if Clark simply maintains her current momentum through an expanded 2025 season, her impact on the WNBA's economy could reach $875 million. With modest growth and continued fan interest, Brewer believes that number could exceed $1 billion.
That's exactly what we're seeing now. Resellers are backing out. Broadcasters are shifting schedules. Cities are reassessing future event investments. And the same fans who once sold out arenas are now switching off their TVs.
The young white girl comes along and y'all want to sit up there and shower all of this praise and all of this attention.
All of this, not just because of an injury, but because of how that injury was handled, with silence, spin, and zero urgency. The fans have made themselves clear. No Caitlyn, no crowd. No Caitlyn, no views. No Caitlyn, no league.
I don't know if she's dealing with this amount of injuries if that preseason game ain't in Iowa.
When Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA, she brought more than talent. She brought a new era. She turned the spotlight onto a league that had long struggled for attention. For the first time in years, people were watching. But instead of building around her with care, the league did the opposite. They cashed in, fast. They overexposed her. And when the pressure broke her body, they acted like nothing happened.
You have to protect your star. You have got to protect her at all costs.
And that failure starts at the very top, with Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. Cathy was handed something the league had never seen before, a true national icon with crossover appeal. But what did she do with that gift? While she talked about growing the game and empowering women's sports, her actions told a different story. National TV appearances, back-to-back games, nonstop travel, a nonstop marketing machine, all gas, no brakes. Now we're watching the results, a superstar physically breaking down while the people in charge stay silent.
She's number one. You can't trade her. I mean, even Ronaldo's moved around. LeBron's moved around.
Clark wasn't eased into the league. She was thrown into the fire. She became the face of every campaign, every ticket promo, every TV deal. But instead of giving her space to adjust, the league pushed her to the edge. No extra protection on the court, no effort to control the workload, no strategy to sustain her long-term success.
Debbie Antonelli has been the play-by-play voice before Caitlin Clark arrived.
Just one mission, milk the moment. Even WNBA veterans and analysts are calling it out. Debbie Antonelli, with decades of experience in women's basketball, said the league's officiating is letting Clark take a beating. She suggested the referees are setting a dangerous tone by letting too much slide. And when officials don't step in, other players cross the line.
We now have someone making the same assessment. Debbie Antonelli.
That's exactly what's been happening all season. Excessive contact, dirty fouls, and no accountability. This isn't about tough defense. This is about a clear target being put on one young player's back and the league doing nothing to remove it.
I think it's pretty egregious disrespect right now for our team.
Other leagues get it. The NBA protects LeBron. The NFL shields Mahomes. Even scripted entertainment like WWE knows the star must be protected.
Austin was the one selling tickets. He's selling merchandise.
That's the basic rule of business when you've got a moneymaker. But here, the WNBA let its most valuable player get beat up every night, then doubled her workload with endless scheduling and appearances. And now with Caitlin injured, what does Cathy Engelbert do?
Caitlin has had her fair share of knocks. There's no question about it. But also at the same time, she's at the top of the scouting report. And if you want to win the game, it's important that you limit what she can do. You take away her vision, you're physical with her when she's off the ball. You do all those things. And there's a certain line. And if the referees don't take care of managing that line, then players are going to cross the line. You guys know you're going to try to do whatever you can to get away with as much as you can until it's called out. And that means the whistle has to blow. And from Indiana's standpoint, she's been taking quite a beating. I think there's been too much chatter about it, and I do think it needs to be cleaned up.
She repeats the same recycled talking points. We don't want to rely too heavily on one player, she says. Really? When that one player is responsible for over 25% of the league's revenue? When her presence breaks attendance records and drives viewership to record highs?
WNBA rumors suggest Caitlin Clark will be among the first stars making $1 million annually. The most notable of which is, y'all already know who, the needle mover, Caitlin Clark.
So in 2024, she averaged 16.5 points per game, 4 assists, 5.5 rebounds. She shot 37% from the field and 31.8% from three. Now, if you look at her preseason in 2025, she only played 2 games in this preseason, and one was against that Brazilian national team. She played 21 minutes. She averaged 14.5 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. She shot 52.5% from the field and 50% from three-point range.
That's not relying too much. That's the only reason the league is even in the national conversation right now. The disconnect is glaring. Fans are watching their hero get treated like a product, not a person. For months, Clark was used to sell jerseys, tickets, TV spots, and hope. But the moment she needed the league's support, the silence was deafening. No apology, no plan. Just vague injury updates and PR-friendly fluff. And the media? Only a few voices dared to call it out.
Caitlin Clark fans have been complaining Kat Engelbert refuses to listen.
Most stayed quiet, unwilling to criticize the WNBA. That's why independent creators, YouTubers, podcasters, and fans have stepped up to speak the truth. Because the silence from the top is louder than any headline.
No doubt Caitlin Clark is a great story. How big of a part of the story is that for you, and is that for this book?
Caitlin Clark is way more important to the WNBA than Tiger Woods was to men's golf. We'd never seen anything like that before.
This is the greatest moment ever for the WNBA.
This fan rebellion isn't aimed at Caitlin. It's aimed at the system that failed her. A system that treated her like a logo, not a 22-year-old woman playing through pain. A system where referees looked away as she was knocked to the floor night after night.
They have complained about not being treated like NBA players. Well, now you are.
The WNBA had a rare opportunity, one that leagues wait decades for. Caitlin Clark wasn't just a great player. She was a generational moment, a chance to shift the narrative, grow the fan base, and elevate the entire sport. But instead of protecting her, the league exploited her. And now as she sits injured and worn down, the same arenas she helped fill are emptying out fast.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT.
She signed my jersey. So happy, I'm crying. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
This is great news for women's basketball. Period.
That's nice.
And she was shooting the shit out of it.
Of course she was.
Right, so she was shooting the shit out of it. And
she's the face of the league.
Agreed.
She's the face of the league. Agreed.
Just have nothing but great things to say about who she is as a person. She's so welcoming and so warm as an individual that she can have a conversation with anybody. She's cut from the same cloth as me in that regard. You know what? Us Midwesterners, we tend to just, accept everybody with open arms. She was so kind to my family and everyone in the suite when she came to KC. So huge fans of Caitlin Clark.
It is a mad situation just all around when it comes to Caitlin Clark, because it's very clear that she is way stronger.
Fans aren't just upset because she's hurt. They're outraged because no one had her back, because the same system that used her face to headline every promo went silent when it mattered most. This isn't a simple ratings dip. It's a full-blown crisis. And if the league doesn't wake up, it's only going to spiral further. So, if you stand with Caitlin Clark, if you believe athletes deserve better, speak up. Like this video, share it, drop a comment. Let your voice echo what the league refuses to hear. Protect your stars or lose your fans. It's that simple.